we going to talk about today, Rafi?
Same thing we talk about every day, Clee. How to take over the world.
Rafi's tips for artists because he loves you.
Hola, you amazing artists! So last week we posted a video about social media, and today I'm gonna answer some of the questions. So most of you guys got it. You guys understood the video. What I was talking about was not focusing on the sales, but focusing on your story and posting the things that you want to share, that you want to see. Some of you did not get it. Not so much. Basically what happened was you watched the video and then you were like, great, but how did you sell things on social media? How did that happen? And trust me, I get it. When we first started selling our stuff and started putting our stuff on social media, it felt like there were just crickets going on, and there was this mad desperation for me to find out, like, what is the trick? What is the trick to selling your stuff on social media? Especially when I'd see artists on there, like, with all these likes and selling all this stuff. And I just felt like I was in, like, some kind of internet Siberia.
I'd like to share that my 2 cents this morning was to choke on my coffee and almost die when I heard that we were recapping social media.
She did. She almost choked on her coffee. So what I decided for this video is that I'm going to give you guys the tips and tricks of what I do when it comes to social media. And trust me, take all this stuff with a grain of salt. So I'm going to tell you some things that I keep in mind whenever it is that I'm posting to social media, or even when I'm just thinking about social media. The first thing is that all social media platforms, they make their money with ads. So I got to keep that in mind when I'm posting stuff. Anything that I post that may have text in it, or text in the title that is talking about selling or anything like that, it's going to get suppressed in the timeline. It's just something that they do. Any advertising that takes priority is stuff that people pay them for the ads. So if you post something and you're like, this is brilliant, it's got a bunch of text in it, chances are not that many people are going to see it because it's going to kind of disappear in the timeline.
So it's like the opposite of use your words.
Yeah. Even still, I still use wording in a lot of my posts because I don't care. Somebody like me who's very comfortable with the fact that a lot of my followers will get my stuff because they clicked on a notification in order to get it because they are following us. I don't worry so much about whether or not my post is going to get suppressed or not, even though I still experience that. There are some posts that like skyrocket and some posts just get completely suppressed. Another thing for artists is like nudie pics and things like that. A lot of that stuff kind of gets suppressed down. So just if you are going to post your artwork and it just happens to show some nudity, chances are it's not going to get that much of a response rate. And just be ready for that. It doesn't mean don't post those things. It just means that those particular posts may get suppressed. You are working on their platform, so be prepared for that.
Nudie pics and words.
Yeah,
we don't like them.
We don't like nudie pics and words. The second rule that I follow is consistency. They reward consistency. So for example, with Instagram, ideally post at least once a day. When I'm posting consistently, I consistently get more and more likes on a post versus where maybe I go into a weird busy funk and I don't post anything and then I get back at it and my ratio is not as high as it usually is.
This is the area where I tend to fail epically because I'll post for a few days and then I'm like, peace.
Yeah, then she disappears. It's one of the reasons that in the last video, I talk about just posting for yourself, giving yourself a reason to post daily, instead of making it about other people where, like, I gotta post because I want people to know that I exist and this and that and blah, 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 or I'm trying to sell this piece. Whenever you do that, it becomes way more stressful than just showing a piece of your life, like recording a moment in time of that day or a moment in time of a thought that you had. It is way less stressful doing it the way that I do it, where I just post something because I want to post something.
Yeah, that's where I get tripped up sometimes, is I'm like, I really want to post quality content that people will enjoy, but I'm just sitting at my computer today.
Yeah, you don't overthink it. Just post something fun that you're going to enjoy looking at. Like I said before, I'm no expert, but as far as consistency, the way that I think about it is like this. Instagram is sharing a photographic interpretation of what's going on in your life that day. Facebook is like sharing a picture with family and friends who don't care all that much. Twitter is like sending an email blast out to a bunch of people that may respond or may not respond.
I feel like Twitter is like throwing a penny into outer space.
Well, it's a very fast social media platform, so
Yeah.
we'll talk about that. So one of the other things I keep in mind is, are my pictures engaging? Are they interesting? Are they good? For a lot of you guys that ask me the question about social media and stuff, I've gone to your pages and I'll see pictures that are hard to look at, especially on Instagram. Instagram is a platform where it's all about the pictures. So you want to spend some time editing that picture. For me personally, it takes me about 5 minutes to edit a picture because I'll try to take the best possible picture in the first place where it needs the least amount of editing. By far, I am not the best at taking pictures, but I want to make sure that the picture in of itself is telling the story versus me having to compensate the picture by adding a bunch of wording. This isn't meant to criticize negatively, but some of the pictures, when I look at it, I'm like, this is not a good picture. This does not show me what it is that you're trying to say. And the other thing is, because of that, what I'll do is I'll go to my main page on Instagram and I'll look at how the little collage of all the pictures kind of work together and whether or not the color schemes look good. I want that experience to be a positive experience if somebody happens to go to my Instagram page.
So what you mean is think about the narrative in the pictures.
Think about the narrative. Pictures should be able to stand on their own.
So you don't mean like, dang, your pictures are hard to look at. I can't even.
Yeah.
I just can't even.
Yeah, not that narrative. Stay away from that narrative. Another thing to keep in mind is that social media is a social platform. So engage with the people that are following you on social media. Don't just post something and completely ignore them. And like I said before, take a look at your profile page on these different platforms and make sure that it's aesthetically pleasing to look at. Also, make sure that there is a link that leads back to either your website or your web store. When you post a piece of art or even on your profile page, you could have DM me for more information or DM me for prices or commissions. I've seen a lot of artists do that. I think that that is successful. I personally don't do that. Because it just doesn't fit with the way that my profile works. Another thing to keep in mind is to have an idea of what the social media platforms are. So Facebook is like sending a message to friends and family and new friends who maybe are interested or not really that interested, but they want to stay up to date on what you're doing. Twitter is like sending a message into a race with a bunch of other messages. So the more messages you send, the more chances there are of somebody responding. Another thing with Twitter is that they are very hashtag heavy. So if you don't know about hashtags, learn about them. Instagram to me is like sharing pictures with the photography club. Like, you want to make sure that your pictures are telling a story. Don't just send them some ass pictures that aren't going to work.
Yeah, to me, Instagram is like you have a Polaroid camera, right? And you get one Polaroid per day, so make it really awesome.
Yeah, not saying that you should only post once a day, but post consistently at least once a day, so your Polaroid has a very limited amount of Polaroids that you could take.
I'm just conserving Polaroids, don't judge me.
LinkedIn is like putting out a business update.
Riveting.
Pinterest is like, I don't know. I just basically, the way that I use Pinterest is that I go on my website and every single one of my items or pictures has a little Pinterest thing where I could share it on Pinterest, and then I share it on Pinterest. And as far as YouTube being a social media platform, let's say that you were thinking of using YouTube, the way that I would use it is almost like you're FaceTiming with people that love you. So that's how I use YouTube, almost like I'm FaceTiming with you amazing people. Another thing to keep in mind is time and effort. How much time and how much effort are you putting into it? This is where paying for advertising or the marketing on Facebook or different social media come in. I personally don't pay for any marketing. The only time that I ever paid for marketing on Facebook was when I released calendars about 2 years ago, and the response wasn't all that big. In fact, the response from my paid marketing was on par with my organic marketing. So since then, I've not ever paid for marketing on Facebook. Not saying that it wouldn't work for you. It's something that I think you should personally look into and see if it is a way that you want to go. I like organic marketing. That's my thing. I don't want to pay for additional marketing. And finally, the last thing to keep in mind is that it's about the story. That is why I posted the last video that I did on this, because if you are out there to try and sell something and you're not being genuine, then you might as well be like a lot of these big companies that pay a lot of money to a marketing firm in order for the marketing firm to come up with some story. But really, at the end of the day, it's just a bullcrap story. I know that the idea of marketing and business and all that stuff brings up all of these things that's like, well, I gotta sell and I gotta tell people what they want to hear and I gotta do this and I gotta do that. That just feels so dirty to me, and it makes it something that it shouldn't be. As artists, we have a story to tell. We have our own personal story to tell. Whether you are a painter, a jewelry maker, a musician, any kind of crafter, you have a very interesting story. And not only that part of your story, but the story of your life is completely interesting. You don't have to make up some cockamamie story to try and sell your stuff. Just let people know who you are.
Yeah, I think what Rafi is saying is there's a very good chance you're a lot more interesting than you give yourself credit for.
Yeah, when you are putting yourself out there, whether or not you're putting yourself out there face to face, which is what I highly recommend, or you're doing it in the virtual world, you are going to run into haters. You are going to run into people that have an opinion of you that is not completely legit. That's the scary part of putting your stuff out there. And I think that secretly it's one of the reasons that a lot of us hold back from actually putting our lives out there, because it's scary. It's scary. Somebody might hate on you. And it is actually the reason that I say to remain genuine, because if you are genuine, nobody has any ammo of skeletons in your closet that they could get to. Recently, I got a comment from somebody who was like, there he is, buy my art, buy my book, support us on Patreon, watch my videos so I can make money. Basically, what they were saying was like, okay, so I'm trying to make money with my art. I'm trying to make money with my book, get some crowdfunding for the book that I'm going to write. I'm trying to make money with Patreon by doing the videos, and I'm trying to get people to watch my videos so I can make money. So essentially what this person was saying is that I'm trying to make money with the things that I create. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make money with the things that I create, but the money is not the reason that I create those things. My response to this person is like, yeah, so what? Like, I've got nothing to hide. Of course I want to make money with my book. Of course I want to make money with videos. Of course I want to make money with my art. The more money that I make, the more I could create.
Which is more eloquently stated than my reply, which was like, duh, idiot.
That's one of the many reasons that I say just be genuine and be honest about who you are and share who it is that you are. And that way, there's no ulterior motive behind what you're doing. Oh. So that brings us to promoting yourself on the platforms, on different social media. Basically, that's where you're like, hey guys, here's this piece. Check this out on my website. I know that there are a lot of artists out there that have a really, really difficult time asking for money. And honestly, I'm one of those people. I have a very difficult time asking for money. But in order for me to continue doing what I do, or for you to continue doing what you do, or embark on this creative journey, people need to buy your stuff. Now, there is a huge difference between putting your stuff out there and giving them the opportunity to understand it and want to buy it, versus thinking that people owe you and that they should buy it. That's where the desperation of like, oh my God, I've been doing this so long and all these people and they don't follow. You got to get rid of that. If you are doing something, you have to be doing it because you want to. It's the reason that I say post because you want to post, not because you're trying to sell. If I was posting these videos because I was trying to make money with it, 7 years doing videos where the most that I made, even being a partner, was $5 a month. Why would I even keep posting videos if I was doing it for the money? Gotta get that mentality out of your head, and that includes social media. If you're going to share across your social media, then it should be about something else. If you are going to make YouTube videos, it should be about something else. If you are going to create artwork, it should be about something else. And trust me, I understand. You want to make money. You need to make money. You want to make money so that you could create more stuff and you could support yourself and not be stressed out all the time. I really do wish that I had some kind of magical formula that worked for you. The fact of the matter is that anybody that is out there that is promoting a magical formula is selling magic beans or snake oil. You gotta figure this out. You have a story. Share your story and remember that it takes time. It takes time. There is no quick fix for this, you guys. It takes time. And I know that it's easy to look at somebody like myself or look at other people that you think are succeeding, but honestly, I've been at this for a long time and I'm not even close to where I would want to be financially comfortable. Remember, it takes time. And you have to give yourself another reason other than the money to be able to make it. So to answer the question, how did I sell things online? It is because I shared things and gave people the opportunity to go and purchase my art. And I made that very, very easy for them to be able to get to that place. That's how I sold things online. One particular person saw something that really, really connected with them, that the story spoke to them, and then they went to my website and they bought it. Plain and simple. There was no conniving or tricking or getting them, how do I get these people to go to my site and buy something? Keep in mind that a lot of those people that have a lot of views, they have somebody who is running their social media marketing. They're doing all that stuff. They're paying for ads. And so their pages seem to be like skyrocketing up. As an artist, a lot of times I'm by myself. I don't have time to spend hours a day working on social media. What I do have time for is to do 10 minutes of posting across the board on social medias. I work on my videos because this is a different part of what I do. I don't consider this social media. I consider this connecting with people because trust me, it's not about the money. So to reiterate the advice that I gave you in my last video, just have fun with it and find a reason why you want to do it other than trying to sell stuff and make money. And hopefully that gave you guys more of an insight on where I am when it comes to social media and stuff like that. Also, I'm going to insert a shameless plug here. I am currently working on my first book and I will be doing an Indiegogo campaign very, very soon. And if you want to sign up to be alerted about that, then just go to my website and you'll see it says The Rogue Artist Survival Guide. That's going to be my first book in a series of books that I'm planning on writing. I've been collecting notes and stuff over the last 8 to 10 years of my career. So I've got stacks and stacks because I've been wanting to write a book for a while, but I've just never gotten the chance. So I am going to face that. I'm going to do a campaign to help me get started. So that's where you guys come in.
Together, we're going to force Rafi to finish his book.
Yeah, you'll force me to finish my book. And also, if you guys have any social media marketing tips, in the last video, a lot of you left some really awesome tips. So if you still have questions, I would read through some of those comments. But if you have any more, just go ahead and leave those in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching, you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. I totally adore you. And if you like this and you want to watch more like this, just click right over here to subscribe. And that's it. Say goodbye, Clee.
Good day.
Adios.